Good morning. Go.
Sorry.
Good. Good morning. Okay, guys. Monday morning. Hope everybody had a great weekend. I've had some agents call up, and you guys are not taking advantage of the back office we got. We've got everything in the back office for you to have your own virtual office on where to place a client at, ages, maximum face amounts, minimum face amounts, everything about the carrier you'll know, even down to their AM Best ratings. It's about 50 pages. I'm going to recommend you guys to print it out. So either when you're in a home, you have it there in a paper copy, or have it on your iPad where you can flip through this stuff here. Because right now you're buying leads, you're working referrals, you're knocking on doors, you're canvassing neighborhoods. So what you're doing is that you're doing what you got to do to get in front of people. Yet when you get in front of people, you don't know where to place them at. So today I'm going to go over carrier niches of where I recommend you to put the clients at, because I know where they're going to go. If you guys buy with COPD, I got a carrier. This is what I hear from agents. Joe, I like writing this carrier, so I put the client with them, and I know they had COPD and they got declined. I said, well, why didn't you look through the cheat sheets we have to see which carrier will accept them? Well, I really don't know how to do it, and this is a carrier I like using, so I took a chance. Let me kind of tell you guys something. There's no taking chances. When a carrier says we will not accept COPD or emphysema on immediate issue, that means you're going to either get a graded or get a modified, and you run a chance of selling it to your client, somebody coming behind you, and giving them immediate benefits. Okay? I don't know about you guys. When I go out with agents, more and more people are asking us, is this immediate benefits? Is this day one coverage? Is there a 2-year waiting period? So when clients start asking, this is not every time I go out, when they start asking this here, I think they're becoming a little bit more educated, because they've not been shopping around, they're sending in cards. Have you been to a house before and you see another lead from somebody else? Have you gone to a house with a brand new lead that you got, that you paid top dollar for, and that person says, I just bought something? These are things you got to think about. You got to be more prepared today than ever, because when I started doing this 25 and a half years ago, there were not as many people as us out there. There was not as many agents knocking on doors, making phone calls. There weren't telemarketing rooms. There weren't phone rooms. That wasn't even thought about back then. I'm asking you to go to back office, print this stuff out, use it to your advantage, because you will make more sales. Okay, I'm going to go down this list, and it's in the back office, called Carriers and Their Niches. Okay? It's 3 pages long. Now, I'm going to buzz through this here, because if I do every single item here, we'll be on the phone for like 25, 30 minutes. Now, when you go into a home, we already know that we've got to do some fact finding. Either you're going to bring out a paper, as some agents do, with all the different illnesses and health issues, and they go down the list there, and then from there they'll say, okay, where do I put the client at? Or you can ask these questions, write the answers down, and tell them, hold on one second, let me go through my book to see which is the best carrier for you. My recommendation always has been, pick out your number one carrier that you like using. Okay? Most agents are using the carriers today that have the e-apps and the instant approval right then and there, because they want to know the answer there. If the client does not get approved there, they're going to shift over either to a graded product, or they're going to shift over to a guaranteed issue. Yet agents today want to know exactly. when I first started, we had to get the application with a wet check. I used to have to overnight it to the folks we worked for on a UPS. From there, it went to the carrier to see whether they were approved or not. So I used to wait sometimes up to a week to get an answer if the client was approved. Then I got to go back, put them with a different carrier, tell them, what did you tell me? E-apps today, guys, are the way to go. Now, let's talk about America. If you have a client of yours who's had a heart issue between a year and 2 years, almost every carrier will accept your client with immediate benefits if they had a heart issue over 2 years. Heart attack, stroke, stent, pacemaker. Over 2 years, almost every carrier will accept you immediate. America says, Joe, what we're going to do for you guys is that if your client has a heart issue between a year and 2 years, we're going to give them immediate issue on their product. America also has an automatic at no charge, already built into their premiums, an accidental death rider. So if you get one for 10, they're going to get 10 accidental. You give a client one for 20, they're going to get 20,000 accidental rider built into it, e-app ready to go. American Amicable, they accept clients. They ask no questions about schizophrenia, depression, bipolar, anxiety, PTSD. They ask no questions about that there. You slide your client right on in. They also have a nursing home waiver. So if your client checks into a nursing home and they go 90 days in there, you submit to the carrier with the proper documentation that they request, your client's premiums are waived. Something that you should know. They have an e-app as well. They also do the Social Security premium billing. Let me tell you about Social Security premium billing real quick. The carriers that we have, 75% of them offer the Social Security premium billing. What that is that they're going to draft the client's account on the 1st or the 3rd, or the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th Wednesday. What that means is that when your client's money goes into the account that night at midnight or so, the computer already knows that there's a payment coming out. So when Jack Skaggs writes an application for somebody with American Amicable, and he submits it for the 3rd of the month, the computer's sitting there saying, we got a payment coming out for Jack Skaggs' client. So the computer says, whoa, we got to wait for that money to come in. So as soon as that money comes in from Social Security, Jack Skaggs, just like a Pac-Man, will gobble that money up, take it out, send it to the carrier, and this is what happens. Jack gets paid on time, less chargebacks, and less having to go back to the client to tell them you messed up on a payment. Social Security billing is very important. Back office has all the carriers that offer it and all the carriers that do not offer it. Okay. CBS, they go down to age 40 to 89, e-application. They have no height weight chart. So if you got somebody that's not quite tall enough for their weight, put them with them. Now, before you just jump to a carrier with no height and no weight charts, look at the carriers, because a lot of them are extremely lenient. Somebody who you would think will not fall into that category, most of the time will. Yet if they're outside that range, CBS and also Royal Neighbors will also take your client with no height weight chart. CBS says, Joe, if you got a client of yours that has COPD, emphysema, Parkinson's, or even lupus, we're going to give you the immediate standard rate. Immediate standard is a little bit more expensive than the immediate preferred, yet your client has immediate coverage. Foresters is another company that offers the COPD and the emphysema on their immediate standard price. Foresters also has a non-med term that they accept clients with diabetes on their term and also COPD on their term. Something you must remember, because if you go to put that client, let's say you say, Joe, I love Transamerica. Transamerica term to me is a very good company. Yet when you start talking to them and you got a client with COPD or you got a client with diabetes, they're going to table rate you either to 4, 6, or 8, where it's already built into the pricing for Foresters. Because what Foresters does is that they'll actually have us sell to a client who's in perfectly good health or some client that's got some issues, so they have kind of like a blended rate to where they can accept everybody. Okay. Liberty Bankers, EAP, very, very simple application, Social Security billing. They'll accept your client on seizures, COPD, Hep B if they're not on medication, and emphysema on immediate standard. Their rates are very good. Every carrier we have has got different rates. Depends on the person's age. It depends on male or female. So when you go to the rate calculator, you put in male, 67 years old, non-smoker, level, modified, guaranteed, whatever category they fit under. Look at it, it's going to tell you the prices you have to pick from. Now, when it comes to pricing, this here is gospel. I'm telling you, provided there's something the client doesn't tell you. You have a client of yours who has COPD and you want to get them immediate benefits. You've got CBS, Liberty Bankers, and you got Foresters. Those are your choices. Don't sit and say, well, Joe, it's cheaper with Mutual of Omaha, so I put them with them. Mutual says, we'll take them, but they're going to get a graded product. The sheets are gospel. Okay. Life Shield. They got the best smoker rates out there. You got them and you got Americo right below them when it comes to the smoker rates. Life Shield says you got a client that does an occasional cigar, an occasional pipe, we'll give them a non-smoker rate. Okay? If you put somebody with Life Shield, the premiums of their immediate issue are very low, and their graded is the same premiums, yet there's a waiting period. Okay? Premiums for here, for the levels here, the graded is right with it. Yes, you got like a 2-year waiting period. Oxford, all around good company. They have really no serious bells and whistles. You got to be in pretty good health. Yet they're a price point carrier there. They go from $5,000 all the way up to $30,000. Mutual of Omaha, everybody knows who they are. Great, great company. They've got great children policies, very inexpensive, great children policies. They got a non-med term and they got a non-med index universal life express, which their premiums are very, very sexy, and you'll be able to flip a lot of business, providing the client's health is okay, to put them with the IUL Express. Okay, Prosperity. Prosperity kind of falls into a category of their own. They got an EAP, you got to have E&O. This is what Prosperity does. When you go to a client's house and the client's got a dual medication, when you're doing a regular EAP for another carrier and they have a dual medication for different purposes, the insurance company 99% of the time is going to pick the serious one and either give you a decline or give you a graded. Prosperity says, Joe, this is what we're going to do for you. Tell us what the medication is used for, because they got a drop-down box. So you're going to get all the way to the question. When you hit something there, it's going to drop down and say, why is the client taking this medication? There's a medication, I can't think of the name of it now, that's used for, I believe it's for cancer and also restless leg syndrome. Drop box comes down, you put down RLS, bam, gets approved. I went with an agent, God, probably over a year ago. We had 3 drop-down boxes. He filled them in correctly. The lady got approved right then and there. Another thing about Prosperity, they'll say, Joe, if you do $20,000 per quarter, January, February, March, like quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you do $20,000 or more, we will bonus you an 8% bonus on top of your commission. So let's sit and say you do $30,000 with them, $10,000 a month. 30 times 8, you get an extra $300, get an extra $2,400. Can't even add this morning. Extra $2,400 in commission put in your checking account minus the advance fees. Okay? They also do clients who smoke cigars, pipes, dip, or chew are considered non-smokers. They only give you a smoker rate if your client smokes cigarettes. So if your client smokes anything other than cigarettes, they're going to get a non-smoker rate. They also have a non-med term that's coming out, or has come out, that's very good, very easy, e-application, very lenient on their underwriting. Royal Neighbors, we're almost through if you guys got appointments. Royal Neighbors, instant decision, no height weight chart. If you got a client of yours that has a TIA, which is a baby stroke, a mini stroke, had it last week, Royal Neighbors says we're priced to give you immediate benefits. TIA, immediate benefits, no 1 or 2 year waiting period. They also have, if you have a client that is on insulin or a pill for diabetes, and they have neuropathy, Royal Neighbors will accept them with immediate benefits. Okay? Now, if a client has neuropathy with no diabetes, put them with any carrier. But once they're married, pill or shot for diabetes, and a pill mainly called gabapentin, that's called neuropathy, that combination, that cocktail, Royal Neighbors likes it. They say we got no problem with it. They also have a jet issue term and whole life, and they also have free member benefits with no height weight chart. Transamerica's got an excellent term, e-application, very easy to go through. Their ages from 0 to 85. They got Social Security billing. They're saying you guys buy on that nitro pill, a nitro patch. They treat that as maintenance, not as a non-maintenance drug. Okay? Now, what that means, what that means is that if your client's first fill on a nitro patch or nitro pill is over 2 years ago, Transamerica says we'll accept your client with no problem. Okay? Immediate benefits. If they were given that nitro pill between a year and 2 years, you're going to get their immediate standard rate. So remember that there. They're very friendly when it comes to the nitro pill or the nitro patches. Okay? Now, lastly, almost guaranteed issue is GTL. GTL's got 6 health questions. They go from age 50 to 90. They have Social Security billing. If you got a client, young client, let's say you got a client 50 years old that's got issues with them, you go down the list, they'll give them a 2 year waiting period. When it comes to every other guaranteed issue that we have, which is AIG, Gerber, and Great Western, theirs works as return of premium plus 10% for the first 2 years. GTL's is different. They're going to give you return of premium year 1, only 5%. But here's the kicker. Year 2, you get 50% of the face amount. You got face amount of $20,000. Something happens to your client in the 13th month, their beneficiaries are going to get $10,000. And for all guaranteed issues, at the end of the 2nd year, beginning of the 3rd year, they get full face amount. They all work the same. If they have accidental death, get 100% day 1. Okay, let me just recap. Pick a carrier that you like. Know it inside out. Pull that application out. Ask the carriers to send you a wet application. You hold one, give one to your client. I like telling the client if there's a yes on there, put yes on the side, circle it. If there's no, hit no, blah, blah, blah. Makes the client feel they're involved with you. Now you're seeing exactly what the client has. If your favorite carrier, let's say, is Royal Neighbors, pull the application out. They hit no all the way down, bam, right on roll neighbors. Your favorite carrier, let's say, is Americo, Foresters, Mutual, whoever you choose to use. Pull the application out, go down it. If something pops up, say, boop, they can't have that carrier. Now you've got to know where to transition to. So now you're going to go to the back office and you're going to pull out all of the cheat sheets, and it's going to tell you where to take that client to. Okay, guys, I'm going to let you go. Carriers and their niches, back office, 3 pages long. It's got the ages, it's got the max faces, it's got all the things I showed you now. So when you're talking to a client, you can buzz through it, make your life a lot easier. Hit them hard. If you got any questions, give us a call. Be safe, be careful, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye, guys.